This is Finding Winnie, the true story of the world's most famous bear, by Lindsay Maddock, illustrated by Sophie Blackall. "Could you tell me a story?" asked Cole. "It's awfully late. It was long past dark and time to be asleep." "What kind of story?" "You know, a true story. One about a bear." We cuddled up close. "I'll do my best," I said. A very long time ago, about 100 years before you were born, there was a veterinarian who lived in Winnipeg. His name was Harry Colburn. "A vegetarian?" said Cole. "Bear doesn't like vegetables." "A veterinarian. It means an animal doctor." "I know that," Cole said. "That's what I'm going to maybe be when I'm big." If a horse had the hiccups or a cow had a cough, Harry knew how to make them feel just right. Harry's hands were never cold, even in Winnipeg, when winters are so frosty that icicles grow on the inside of your nose. That was just the kind of doctor he was. But a day came when Harry had to say goodbye to Winnipeg. There was a war far, far away, beyond the end of the country and on the other side of the ocean, and he was going to help. He would be caring for the soldiers' horses. Harry rode east on a train full of other soldiers. He leaned his head against the window, watching the land scroll by, wondering what it would be like to be so far from home. How do you think you'd feel if you were going off to war? Yeah. It would be kind of exciting to go take care of horses, wouldn't it? Maybe. The train rolled right through dinner and over the sunset and around 10 o'clock and into a nap and out the next day until it stopped at a place called White River. Harry decided to stretch his legs. On the train platform was a man on a bench with a baby. "A baby?" said Cole, annoyed. Do you remember who Cole is? He was the little boy who's listening to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think he doesn't really know what's about to happen. Cole? No. "A baby bear. A cub." Harry stopped. It's not every day that you see a bear cub at a train station. What do you think it was doing there? You don't know?
No clue.
No clue. Let's find out. "That bear has lost its mother," he thought, "and that man must be the trapper who got her." Do you know what a trapper does?
So that traps animals?
Yeah. "What do trappers do?" asked Cole. And the same question as us. "It's what trappers don't do. They don't raise bears." "Raise them?" "You know," I said, "love them." So he must not be a trapper if he kept the bear. Or maybe. We'll find out.
Maybe I'll sell him.
Maybe. Harry thought for a long time. Then he said to himself, "There is something special about that bear." He felt inside his pocket and said, "I shouldn't." He paced back and forth and said, "I can't." Then his heart made up his mind and he walked up to the trapper and said, "I'll give you $20 for that bear." "Is $20 a lot?" asked Cole. "Back then," I said, "even more than a lot." "Captain Colburn," said the colonel on the train as the little bear sniffed at his knees, "we are on a journey of thousands of miles, heading into the thick of battle, and you propose to bring this most dangerous creature?" Does he look dangerous?
No. He's like, buddy, where's the dangerous creature?
Bear stood straight up on her hind legs as if to salute the colonel. The colonel stopped speaking, and at once, and then in quite a different tone, he said, "Oh, hello." The men of Harry's regiment squeezed by to have a look. "I've decided to name her Winnipeg," Harry told them, "so we'll never be far from home. Winnie, for short." They had a very long way to travel, and they had already gone 3 or 4 feet when Winnie grew hungry. "What do bears eat?" the men wondered. "What don't they eat?" said Harry. "Vegetables," Cole reminded me. "Winnie ate vegetables," I said. "She ate everything, except onions. They brought her carrots and potatoes and apples and tomatoes and eggs and beans and bread, and a tin of fish and some slop in a dish. But Winnie was still hungry." "How about dessert?" said Harry, holding a bottle of condensed milk. Taking the treat in her paws, Winnie lay on her back and hummed a happy song as she drank. The men roared. Harry and Winnie gathered with soldiers from all over Canada in the green fields of Valcartier. A whole city of tents had sprung up there. One was a hospital for horses, where Harry went to work. Because he's a veterinarian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Winnie was in the army now. Harry taught her to stand up straight and hold her head high and turn this way and that, just so. Soon she was assigned to her own post. What do you think her post is going to be? What's her job?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you have any ideas?
No clue.
No clue. Even the colonel agreed that Winnie was a remarkable bear. She might have been the best navigator in the whole army. She was a navigator. What do you think they mean by that?
You can travel from place to place.
Yeah, maybe she led them. If you hid something, could she find it? She could. What if it was farther away? And farther still? Remarkable, he cried. In the evenings, both of them were too tired to move. When Harry thought about Winnie and the voyage across the ocean, his head said, "I shouldn't." His head said, "I can't." But his heart made up his mind. Nobody had ever tried to float so many people and animals across the Atlantic Ocean before. 30 ships sailed together, carrying about 36,000 men and about 7,500 horses, and about 1 bear named Winnie. When they finally arrived in England, the regiment went to training on the Salisbury Plain, where it rained and rained and rained. But Winnie didn't seem to mind. She was the mascot of the 2nd Canadian Infantry Brigade, and she attended her post with vigor. What does that mean, with vigor?
No clue.
It means she was proud to be on her post, and she was going to do her job.
Like that.
One day, Harry came running while she was doing her exercises in the tent. "You'll bring the whole place down," he said, with a laugh. She had grown. What are her exercises? Climbing up the pole?
Mm-hmm.
It was winter when the order came. The time had come to fight. Winnie posed proudly with the men for pictures to send home to their families. Harry thought for a long time. His head argued one way and then the other, but his heart made up his mind. He went to Winnie and said in a serious way, "There's somewhere we need to go." Winnie brushed the mud off her nose and nuzzled him close. Harry drove all the way to the big city. Where do you think they're going to go?
Mm-hmm.
Here we are, the London Zoo. Harry took a deep breath. "Winnie, this is going to be your home for a while," he said. She tilted her head. for shipping out to France, he explained. I have to take care of the horses at the front. She rested her big head against him. I know you want to come, but it's not safe. Winnie's head bowed. Harry's hands were warm with sunshine, as usual. There is something you must always remember, Harry said. It's the most important thing, really. Even if we're apart, I'll always love you. You'll always be my bear.
I still don't see what makes him famous.
Oh, we're going to find out.
Okay.
Is that the end? That's the end of Harry and Winnie's story, I said. But I don't want it to be over, said Cole. Sometimes, I said, you have to let one story end so the next one can begin. How do you know when that will happen? You don't, I said, which is why you should always carry on.
Still don't see how he became famous.
I'll tell you. Once upon a time, there was a little boy with a stuffed bear. He'd had his bear ever since he was a baby, but somehow the boy had never found the right name for him. He tried Teddy and Edward and even Big Bear. One day, the boy went to visit the London Zoo with his father, and there was a bear, a real bear, on the terraces there. Right away, the boy thought, there is something special about that bear. Her name was Winnie. They became true friends. The boy was allowed to come right inside her enclosure to play. Once the boy had found Winnie, he knew just what to call his stuffed bear. He named it Winnie the Pooh. And the boy was called Cole? Said Cole. His name was Christopher Robin Milne. Christopher Robin would visit Winnie at the zoo, and then he would take his stuffed animal on all sorts of adventures in the wood behind his home. His father, Alexander Milne, wrote books all about them. Harry's Winnie became Winnie the Pooh, and there has never been a more beloved bear. But what about Harry? Cole asked. When Harry visited Winnie at the zoo, he saw how happy she was. She was being raised. She was being truly loved. And that was all he had ever wanted. From the moment they met at the train station in White River. So after the war, Harry returned to Winnipeg and his life as an animal doctor. Before long, he was married and had a son named Fred. And Fred had a daughter named Laureen, and Laureen had a daughter named Lindsay, which is me. And then I had a son. When I saw you, I thought there is something special about this boy. So I named you after your great-great-grandfather, Captain Harry Colburn. I named you Cole. See? So this is Harry, the man who found the bear. And that's his son, Fred. And that's Fred when he grew up. And Fred's daughter was Lauren. And that's Lauren when she grew up. And Lauren's daughter, Lindsay. And Lindsay when she grew up. And that's who the story is about. Lindsay and Cole. Remember them? That's me, said Cole in a whisper. That's you. And that's Winnie? Yes, I said. That's Winnie. And it's all true. Sometimes the best stories are, I said. Cole's eyes grew big, and he said nothing for a long time. Then he hugged his own bear close and let out a yawn that reached far away, and they both turned over and fell asleep.
Must have sister for a while. Look.
It's okay. It's still recording. But look, there's pictures of them in real life. That's Harry as a young soldier, it says. So that's what he looked like in real life. Harry kept diaries throughout World War I. This was the diary from 1914, the first year of the war. The diary page from the day Harry found Winnie. On August 24th, 1914, he wrote, "Bought bear, $20.
Straight to the point.
Straight to the point. 3 soldiers with Winnie at her post. Winnie and Harry have what appears to be a laugh and a snack. Harry and his fellow soldiers with their mascot, Winnie.
Where's the bear?
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, but where's him?
Mm-hmm. This picture of Winnie and Harry inspired the statues that now stand in Winnipeg and London. This photo was taken of Winnie and Christopher Robin in 1925 at the zoo after they became friends. This official animal record card shows that Winnie began her stay at London Zoo on December 9th, 1914. And there's Lindsay and Cole in 2013. That's the story. Did you like that book?
Mm-hmm.
You did? You like the story?
And